Now, let's ask, what do you mean by the shifts in demand and supply? A shift in the demand curve is a fundamental economic concept where the entire demand curve moves left or right, indicating a change in demand at every price point. And this is caused by non-price factors like income, preferences, or prices of related goods. This means price stays the same, but quantity demanded or supplied changes. The entire curve moves, not just a point on the curve. If demand increases, the demand curve shifts to the right, and if the demand decreases, it shifts to the left. The same idea applies to the supply curve. Okay, notice that in the demand curve, whenever there are price changes, the movement is along the curve. A rightward shift means increased demand. This is more bought at any price, while a leftward shift means decreased demand or less bought at any price. A movement along the demand curve or change in the quantity demanded happens only due to a change in the product's own price, causing a slide up or a contraction, or down an expansion. The same curve. While a shape of the demand curve, it is the change in demand occurs from non-price factors. And what are these non-price factors? Income, taste, and related goods. They move the entire curve left when there is a decrease or right when there is an increase. Again, a change in price always causes movements along a demand curve. So when we talk about movements along a demand curve, only two variables change: the price and the quantity demanded. Everything else is held constant. Factors other than price cause shifts of the demand curve. And when these other factors change, like the consumer behavior is affected in a way that buyers demand more or fewer goods at every price. As a result, the entire demand curve moves, and changes in any of the following non price determinants can affect the demand and cause the demand curve to shift. Demand shifts happen when consumers change their willingness or their ability to buy, even if the price does not change. And the primary factors that cause a shift in the entire demand curve, also known as the determinants of demand, are the following factors. First, the changes in population. Changes in the number of consumers in the market or its demographic composition. The second factor is the changes in tastes and preferences. It is the shifts and trends, advertising, or awareness can increase or decrease demand for a product at any given price. And lastly, if there are changes in the income. As consumer income changes, their demand for normal and inferior goods shift. So now, let's talk about the changes in income. The demand increases as consumer income rises. Please note that this is a direct or positive relationship. The examples include when you buy new car, getting branded clothing, and going to fine dining restaurants. Naturally, if there's an increase in income, you want to upgrade your lifestyle. And when demand increases, again, due to higher income, the demand curve shifts to the right. This indicates that at any given price, a greater quantity of the good is demanded. Conversely, when income decreases, people demand less of that good, causing the demand curve to shift to the left. So, what is the income effect? This means that higher income generally leads to higher demand. Conversely, if you have a lower income, you have a lower demand because of the increased purchasing power. This allows consumers to buy more, while decreased income means you have a limited budget. And this forces cutbacks on desired items like electronics or nice meals. You just stick to your budget. Over time, consumers changes their buying preference on certain items, especially if an item goes viral in the social media. Consumer preferences are one of the key determinants of demand. The factors mentioned, like the trends, health awareness, and social media influence, are powerful non price determinants that can cause a shift in the demand curve. When consumers suddenly develop a stronger preference for a product, the entire demand curve shifts to the right, indicating that at any given price point, a larger quantity is demanded than before. The perfect example is the iPhone. There is a great demand in spite of the high price compared to other leading phones. Now let's talk about population on how it affects the demand for a certain product. India, China, and the US are attractive markets because of large population. Philippines is ranked number 14 in the world, which is also considered an attractive market because of its large population. Changes in the population are a key determinant of market demand in economics. More people or an increase in population means more potential buyers, which raises the overall demand for goods and services. This is represented graphically by the entire demand curve shifting to the right, and fewer people or a decrease in population means fewer potential buyers, which reduces the overall demand. This causes the entire demand curve to shift to the left. This effect occurs because a change in the number of buyers impacts the quantity demanded at any given price point, not just a single price point, which is the definition of a shift in the entire demand curve. So, in this slide, we will be talking about the relationship between population and demand. Higher population generally leads to a higher demand for goods and services. Why? Because more people need things like food, housing, and transportation. On the other hand, lower population generally leads to lower demand because there are fewer consumers competing for available resources. What causes the shift in supply? Supply shifts happen when producers change how much they are willing or able to sell at each price. A shift in supply happens when the quantity supplied changes even though the price remains the same. This means the entire supply curve moves either to the right, this means an increase in supply, or move to the left, a decrease in supply. Below are the main causes of supply shifts. First, the changes in production costs. Second, if there are natural disasters that have occurred. And third, the advancement in technology. So let's now discuss changes in the production costs. Production costs include expenses such as raw materials, labor, wages, electricity, rent, and transportation. Now, if there is an increase in production costs, it means that the production becomes more expensive. This is a direct causal relationship. Higher costs for materials, labor, or energy mean that the total expense of producing a good or service rises. Production becomes more expensive, which results to the producers supply less at every price. This step explains that the market reaction, facing higher costs and seeking to maintain profitability. Producers are less willing to offer the same quantity of goods at previous price levels. The cost increase effectively shifts the supply curve to the left, resulting in a lower quantity supplied at any given price point. And when production costs increases, businesses produce less. When the supply curve shifts to the left, it signifies a decrease in supply, meaning producers are willing to supply less quantity at every given price. And this leads to a higher equilibrium prices and lower equilibrium quantities. Often, this is caused by increased production costs, sometimes bad weather, or if there are new taxes or regulations imposed by the government. What happens when the supply shifts to the right? When production costs like labor, raw materials, or energy decrease, producers can supply more at any given price, leading to an increase in supply, which is graphically represented as the supply curve shifting to the right. This means higher profits at the same price, encouraging producers to produce greater output. Now, let's talk about when supply shifts to the right. Higher production costs squeeze profit margins, leading to less supply. So naturally, if there is an increase in the production costs, the producer will lessen their production. This is very evident in the leftward supply curve shift. On the other hand, while lower costs increase profitability, encouraging producers to supply more. Please note on the rightward supply curve shift. This demonstrates how input prices directly affect the supply curve, and this is a fundamental concept in economics. Lately, the Philippines had experienced a lot of destructive typhoons. So let's talk about these natural disasters and how they affect the demand or supply. Natural disasters can significantly disrupt supply chains and impact economies by affecting production capacity and resource availability in several key ways. First, physical destruction. When there is a physical destruction, there is the damage to essential infrastructure like factories, the roads, the ports, and power grids directly stops production and the movement of goods. Second factor, labor shortages. Displacement of populations, injuries, and loss of life can lead to a severe reduction in the available workforce. And let's talk about resource contamination and loss. Events like floods and volcanic eruptions can contaminate water source and destroy agricultural land, impacting the supply of essential raw materials that are used in the production of different products. And lastly, if there are supply chain disruptions like damaged transportation routes, create logistics bottlenecks, preventing the raw materials from reaching production or factories. And the finished products from this stop reaching the markets. And it has destroyed the factories and farms. So that is the effect of the natural disasters in terms of the supply curve. Natural disasters cause the decrease in the supply, and disruptions like higher input costs, natural disasters, or lockdowns are just the examples that make production harder or costlier, and it causes a decrease in supply, thereby shifting the entire supply curve to the left, meaning it is less offered at every price, which is different from a mere change in quantity supplied due to a price change. And this aligns with the concept that non-price factors, or called determinants of supply, shift the supply curve, reducing output even if the market price hasn't changed. Let's talk about the effect of technology in terms of the supply. Improved technology has the following effects on production. There are three effects. First, it increases productivity. Technology allows firms to produce more output with the same or fewer inputs. Because of the improved technology, it increases productivity. Second, it reduces production time and cost. How? When there is an automation and efficient processes, it saves time and reduce manual effort, leading to lower operational costs. And lastly, the effect of technology is that it allows the producers to make more output using the same resources. And this is the core definition of an increase in productive efficiency, often represented as an upward shift in the production function. So let's talk about technology decreasing the supply. And there are five factors that shift the supply curve to the left, and these include the following. First is the increase in the production costs. So when costs associated with factors of production, such as labor, raw materials, or capital increase, producers are less willing or able to supply the same quantity even at previous prices. The second factor is that there are fewer sellers. A reduction in the number of firms within an industry, whether due to an existing firms exiting the market or fewer new producers entering the market directly decreases the overall quantity supplied. And the third factor is brought about by negative externalities or what you call the supply shocks. These are the unforeseen disruptive events such as natural disasters which we talk about that damage agricultural yields or production or a damage in the infrastructure like the roads. Also, another one is the geopolitical events disrupting supply chains, which prevents the movement of goods from one point to another. These can significantly reduce the supply. And of course, the fourth factor is the government policies. The implementation of new taxes, stricter regulations, or the removal of subsidies can increase operational costs for businesses, thereby discouraging production, and it lowers the supply. And lastly, the poor technology or efficiency. A decline in the efficiency of production methods, often due to outdated technology, results in lower output for the same amount of input, thereby reducing the total supply. Here is the summary table on the effect of production costs, natural disasters, and improved technology, and the corresponding shift in the supply curve. For example, one of the factors is the lower production costs, and the effect on the supply is that it increases the supply. So when you inspect the supply curve, there is the direction of the ship which is rightward. So to further illustrate the effect on the supply curve whenever there is a demand shift, let us take for example a local milk tea shop. Nowadays, a lot of drinkers, especially the Gen Z, prefers to drink milk tea instead of coffee and other beverages. A positive shift in consumer preferences caused by a viral social media exposure would definitely increase the number of customers wanting milk tea at the original prices. This is known as a shift in demand, where the entire demand curve moves to the right. Now, let's take the second example to illustrate the supply shift. This scenario is a classic example of a negative supply shift in economics. A natural disaster, a typhoon that happens that causes subsequent flooding causes a widespread damage to rice paddies. So, what is the impact on the production? The physical damage to the crops and infrastructure directly reduces the amount of rice that farmers are able to harvest and bring to the market. So, what is the effect to the supply shift? A supply shift refers to change in the quantity of a good that producers are willing and able to sell at any given price. In this case of rice farmers, the shift is negative because the supply has decreased. So, what is the price effect? In a free market, a decrease in supply with constant demand typically leads to higher prices due to scarcity. And our last example is a local bakery that demonstrate an increase in supply. So, investing in modern, efficient equipment causing faster production at lower cost is a classic example of a positive supply shift. Increase in supply means shifting the supply curve to the right, allowing the bakery to offer more bread at every price point due to the improved technology and reduced operational costs. Now, the new technology is a positive factor because new equipment like high-speed ovens improves efficiency and lowers per unit production costs. And when this happens, this indicates a positive shift because production is now cheaper and faster. The bakery is willing and able to supply more bread at any given price. So let's talk about the factors that cause the entire demand curve shift. An increase or decrease in demand include the following factors. 1. Changes in consumer income. It generally, as income rises, demand for normal goods increases while the demand for inferior goods decreases. Second, the changes in consumer preferences or tastes. This naturally shifts in cultural trends, advertising effectiveness, or awareness of health impacts can increase or decrease demand for a product. And third, the changes in consumer expectations. If consumers anticipate future price changes or changes in income, their current demand for a good may shift. And lastly, the changes in market size or number of buyers. An increase in the number of consumers in the market will typically lead to an overall increase in demand. We will now talk about the six factors that cause shifts in the supply curve. Factors that cause the entire supply curve to shift, whether there is an increase or decrease in supply, includes the following. The first factor is the changes in input prices. A decrease in the cost of raw materials, labor, or energy increases the profitability of production, causing an increase in supply. Second factor, changes in technology. Improvements in production technology make the supply of goods more efficient and cheaper, and typically increasing supply. And the third factor, changes in the number of producers. Naturally, more companies entering a market increase the overall quantity supplied at any given price level. And the fourth factor, changes in producer expectations. Suppliers' predictions about future market conditions can influence how much they will produce and sell in the current period. And the fifth factor, government policies. And this focuses on the taxes and subsidies. Taxes increase about future market conditions can influence how much they produce and sell in the current period. And lastly, the natural disasters or weather. Events like floods or droughts can disrupt production, especially in the agriculture sector, leading to a decrease in supply. So, to complete this lesson, let's have and discuss the key takeaways. The impact of the demand and supply on stakeholders. And the three stakeholders are the following: businesses, governments, and the consumers. So, what is the impact on the businesses? Understanding the shifts in the demand and supply is crucial. For the businesses, it used this understanding to plan their production schedules and inventory levels in response to anticipated changes in market conditions. For the governments, they employ supply and demand principles to develop effective policies, such as setting the minimum wages, imposing taxes, or providing subsidies to achieve a specific economic goal. And lastly, what is the impact on consumers? Knowing these dynamics helps individuals understand why prices change, allowing them to make more informed purchasing decisions.